confidence. Confidence is everything. And good news is that you don't have to be born with confidence. In fact, the confident people that you see walking around the world and they're just like strutting and they feel good, they look good, it's not that the piano of confidence fell on them, it's that there are practices that we can follow on a daily basis to be more confident. So follow me to the other side and we're going to talk about 10 things you can do to become a more confident you. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about confidence. And yes, you may have noticed today I am wearing glasses. I have a little eye infection, so glasses it is for the day. We're going for the librarian look. Fantastic. So confidence is so important for our day-to-day. I know that the people who follow this channel, you guys are professionals, you're running companies, you are, running a yoga studio, you're running multiple companies, you are CTOs, you have startups, you're founders, small business owners, moms, you have teams to manage, you have a lot on your plate. And how you show up to your day and how you show up to yourself day after day is absolutely critical, and this is where confidence comes in. And lucky for us, confidence isn't just like a thing that a little bit, whatever whatever was putting you, that's what you got. And that's just the confidence you've got for the rest of your life. No! Confidence is like a muscle. So confidence, it's just practices. It's the practice of confidence. It's a daily practice that we are purposeful about, in that there are things that we can do on a daily basis that we bring into our life that make us more confident. And today we're going to be talking about 10 things that you can do to be more confident. Great, so I have my notes here because I want to make sure I don't forget anything. So let's begin. Number 1, you're going to treat your body well, practice self-love, and care. So these could have been 2 separate items, but I decided to pair them because they're really one and the same. So let me start with self-love and self-care. I might sound like a broken record here, but it's absolutely critical, especially if you are running a company, if you're running a team, if you have a huge project, if you are a mom, if you a small business owner, whatever it is that you're doing. It is critical that you have a practice and that you prioritize self-care, because otherwise you will not have anything left over to give to all of the people who depend on you and to expect you to show up as the best version of yourself. So number 1 on this list that's tied to confidence is absolutely self-care and treating your body well. And these are connected because self-care, it is my belief that you can't have self-care if you are not taking care of the vehicle that allows for you to go about in the world and have energy to bring your best self, to talk and communicate with your team, to do all the things that need to be done. And so it is critical to self-care that we take care of our body. So here I'm going to talk about a few things. Some of these things you have heard before because they are so critical. So you need to exercise. Now, exercise specifically is connected to confidence in very specific ways. When you exercise, there are endorphins that are released. There are different chemicals that are released into your body that make you feel better, that make you feel happier. They regulate your brain chemistry so you can quite physically and literally be a better version of yourself. So exercise is critical. I have recommended this before. I recommend that you exercise minimum 3 times a week, but really I would hope that you're shooting for about 5 times a week. If you're doing the 3 times a week, make it so each of those sessions is at least 45 minutes and you are sweating. You're getting a good cardio workout. And then of course you can do weight training, all the things. But you know, there was just a study that came out saying that not exercising is worse than smoking. So, like, there was sitting is the new smoking. Well, and this makes total sense. If you're not exercising, for all of my peak performers out there, for all of the people that is critical that you show up and have the most energy, be as focused, you know, have good memory, like be all the things. Some of you are running teams, you're running an entire company. Not only that, you're coming home to a family, you have kids, you have, maybe you're like even volunteering, you're like running these other organizations. It's critical for you to be on top of your game. And to do that, you can't do that if you don't first take care of yourself. If you don't first make sure that you have a practice of self-care where you are scheduling in self-care, where you say every Thursday from 7 to 9, that's like me time. And that's when you take the time to give to yourself all that you need to be happy. This is sort of an aside, but we need to not only acknowledge responsibility for our lives, I think we should celebrate it. It's nobody's job for them to make you happy, for them to make you whole. Newsflash, it's not your kids, it's not your husband, it's not your wife, it's not your mom, your dad. The only person's job, who it is, to make sure that you are happy, whole, healthy, wealthy, all the things, is yours. Of course, we have relationships, but at the end of the day, your happiness and your confidence is tied to the time and the intentionality that you are bringing into your life. So that means having a self-care practice on a daily, weekly basis. This means you're scheduling it into your agenda. I know that for some of you, you are so busy, it doesn't happen if it's not on your calendar. That's the case for me. So I need this to be in your calendar. And part of that self-care regimen includes exercising on a weekly basis, multiple times. You are eating well. I'm gonna do an entire different video just on food. I've gone through my an entire journey of my issues with like not eating the right things and feeling terrible, right? Sometimes lying on the couch where I didn't have any energy to get off the couch. It wasn't that I was like sick, but I just felt so exhausted, so tired. You can't do that if you're a peak performer. Your team's depending on you, your company's depending on you, the investors are depending on you, your family, your kids, right? The husband, the wife. You have so much to give, and not only do you have to give to it, it feels so good to be the best version of yourself. And to be the best version of yourself, you have to eat well. You can't treat your body like crap. You just can't. By making daily bad eating decisions, what you are saying is my energy levels don't matter. What you're saying is, I say I care for my team and my company and all these things, but I don't really, because I'm not putting the right fuel into my body so I can actually show up as the best version of me. And so self-love in my book means eating well. So eating well, what does that look like? It looks like getting your greens on a daily, having mostly whole foods. I eat meat, but when I eat meat, I never have meat that isn't organic, pasture raised, like blah blah blah. Now I recognize that for some of us, that's harder, right? So you might live in part of the United States or the world where just coming by this kind of meat or these products is harder. And I recognize that. So we just, again, it's on us to be responsible for our life. It's on us to be responsible for our health. And so I would ask you to look around the resources that are available to you and think of, how can I make sure that everything, before you put something in your mouth, you should be asking, is this going to be energizing? Is this going to be fueling? Or is this going to be subtracting away energy and actually making me feel more terrible, just worse? And so make the right decisions for you. And something that I highly recommend, it's for every Sunday. Sunday is my me day. I don't hang out with people. It's I tell everyone. I definitely don't do meetings. Like, I don't do anything on Sunday. Sunday is me day, and most of that Sunday is spent buying healthy groceries. And so one of my rules is, if it sits on a shelf and it doesn't rot for, I don't know, like a month, it doesn't go in my body, because that's not intended for a body that's moving, that's live. Did you guys know that there's actually, your food has electrical charge? So this is another question you can ask: is this alive or is dead, right? So when you eat veggies, you're actually eating a live food with an electric charge that is adding to your biochemistry. Anyway, we're getting a little bit down the rabbit hole here, but I just cannot emphasize how important eating right, exercising, having a self-care regimen, and I'm gonna add drinking enough water. So for the amount of water that you should be drinking, it is half of your weight in ounces of water every single day. Now, a quick, maybe you're like, oh, how am I supposed to measure that? One quick way to think about this is, if you go to the bathroom and you pee, and the color of your pee, well, if there's any color, you're dehydrated. Especially if it's like yellow at all, you're way dehydrated, so you need to be drinking more water. So you should be drinking enough water that every time you go to the bathroom and pee, yes, we're talking about pee. Every time you go to the bathroom and you pee, it should be like transparent color. A little bit yellow, but like mostly transparent. That means you are drinking enough water. There's the whole thing on like how often to drink water, but we're not gonna go down that route. So that was number one. Number two, boundaries. I will be doing an entire video on boundaries, but it is critical for you to have self-confidence. You need to know, and this is actually going to be tied to number three. So I'll bring them together, and it'll make sense at the end. So number three is have clarity as to who you are choosing to become, and what is most important to you. It is critical for you to first know who you are, for you to really do the introspection and the thinking of who am I now? What are my values now? Who do I want to become? This is why with my clients, we do a lot of work thinking about in 10 years and 20 years, when you die, what do you want your legacy to be? How do you want people to remember you? What do you think is actually most important in life? So we do all this introspection, we do all this work, and then they have an understanding of not only who they are right now, but who they are choosing. They are being intentional about the person they are creating and choosing to become in the next, decade and decades thereafter. When you do this, when you have clarity as to the person that you have decided to be and how you've decided to be, that brings confidence to how you show up, how you walk around, how you interact with people, because you get to know yourself and you have made decisions of what is important to you and therefore what is not important to you. And so back to boundaries, once you've done this work of getting to know who you are, I tell people, we go to school for years. I went to, elementary and middle school and high school and undergrad, and then I went to law school. I was in school for forever. Not once, not until I jumped on this self-help train, did I start learning about me and what's important to me and who do I want to become, and the intentionality of how I choose to show up on a daily basis. Most of us we don't do this. We're kind of just going through the motions, and that's not the way to bring out your potential, to be the best version of yourself. And so, first of all, get to know who you are, study who you are. If you want to do some of that work with me, book a free discovery call. And if you want to do further work, we can do one-on-one coaching. I have my masterminds, I have online programs. Anyway, or work with someone, or just do the work on your own, right? There's fantastic books out there that can help you with that introspection. And make sure to sign up for my newsletter, because I will be sharing what I'm reading and, you know, some of these resources in terms of books, because you guys know I love books, that you can use for this personal introspection. So get to know who you are, get to know what's important to you, and then once that's clear, then saying no, then setting the right boundaries becomes so much easier. And what is absolutely true for peak performers is they know to say no. If you are saying yes to everything, you just are going to be exhausted. You are going to be depleted. And yes, I'm not saying don't ever say yes to something that's exciting, but say yes to the right things. Have some, you know, like, be critical about what you're saying yes. And this is why the introspection allows you to get to know who you are, who you're becoming, what's important to you, understanding of your values. And then if something, like one of my values is adventure. I love adventure and playfulness. So there might be something that, you know, comes my way that isn't all about work and like seriousness, but it, you know, it like connects me to adventure and humor and like playfulness in these parts that are important to me. And so I know who I am, and I can say like yes to this, no to that. So boundaries. So many of the people that I have worked with who are peak performers, they're running companies, they are running teams, it can be so hard for them, even at that level of where they're operating, to say no. So practice saying no. So this comes from Oprah. I love this. Oprah said this. She said, you know, I would do like a physical check-in with myself, and if it didn't feel like a hell yes, it was a no. And so practice, even just for a week, practice living your life in such a way that if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. And know that yes, you can say no to people, you can say no to things, and it does not make you a terrible person, does not make you a bad person. And if you have the right people who are mature, loving people in your life, but that you say no so you can say yes to you, they're not going to begrudge you for that. They're going to celebrate that. They're going to want you to take care of yourself, and they're going to be, you know, glad. I mean, they might be a little bit bummed, but they're like, yeah, she needs to take care of herself. So that is a number 2. And number 3. Number 4, be in charge of your body language. Okay, this is a little bit more tactical. So there are clear things that are true about confident people in terms of their body language. There's a book alert. So there's a fantastic book out there that's called What Everybody Knows. And so we often think that we can manipulate how we're coming across to people by manipulating what's above our neck. And so like, I'm smiling, and so people must think I'm confident. The reality is that there is so much that your body is saying from the neck down that communicates really how you're feeling. And from the neck down, it's just a lot harder for us to manipulate. And so like when I walk into a room, because I have experience in this and coaching in this, I'm able to scan the room and your bodies are giving me messages that you probably don't even know that I'm reading, but because of the training and the expertise I have in this space, I'm able to read these things. So I'm going to share a few tips with you guys. The body language of confidence looks big. So if you can think of the times when you were just killing it, you're on top of things, you felt super confident about yourself. If you look back, what you'll probably see in how you were, or just even maybe you're like, oh, well, I've never been confident. Well, think of a time that you felt comfortable. Think of the people that you feel most comfortable around. What probably happens, what like most likely happens to your body language, is that your body language is open and big. And there's a difference between, our shoulders being down and that, yes, I know who I am, I'm confident. So shoulders are going to be up and out. You're going to be big. You're probably going to have a bigger gestures when you speak confidently. we're not speaking like this. So immediately I go into shy mode, which is a little bit of the opposite, like whatever you can think of the opposite of confident being. We go into non-confident mode. Immediately, like I cross my arms and I'm speaking softer and slower, and I cross my legs. You guys can't see that. And I'm like shifting around, and I might play with my hair. So if you have a negotiation, don't do any of those things. So you want to have, open. You want to be as open as possible. So I'm not saying like sit down and like take over the entire place, but you do want to have your shoulders up, shoulders back. You want your breathing when you're confident. Non-confident breathing stays in your chest. Truly confident breathing goes all the way into your abdomen. So confidence is big. So before you have a situation where it's just critical for you to be confident, say a negotiation, I was just doing negotiation training yesterday. You want to make sure that you're big. The other thing that comes along with your physical body language, and ladies, this one's specifically for you, and I guess potentially gentlemen, this could maybe less the case. Especially in like a negotiation or a really serious meeting, maybe you're meeting an investor, whatever high stakes situation you're in that requires for you to be confident. Maybe it's a job interview. Your hair, don't play around with your hair. This is not only distracting, but this is also a sign of your non-confidence, right? So your hands, when you do this is, if you see this in someone, we do this often without even thinking about it, but this is a power sign. This is, if you see someone across the table from you and they're holding their hands like this says, I feel pretty good about where I'm at. I'm confident. I'm feeling good, and that's not a bad thing. I think it's a good thing for more of us to be more confident, go confidently through the world. But so this is something that you can do yourself and just you be like, yep. And there was a great TED Talk by something Cuddy, and I think it's called Power Posing. And she talks about some of the power poses, some of the things that you can do. So right before a negotiation or a meeting, and something where you need to be confident, like also just like life every day, you can stand in superwoman pose. You can, just practice that. Practice being with your arms open. Something that I love to do, and it connects to a different one, is watching. So we have these things in our brain that are called mirror neurons. And mirror neurons, they are really important so you can come into rapport with someone. And coming into rapport means you get to a place where you guys both, like each other, respect each other, and this is how business is done. So mirror neurons are going to have you not copy, but emulate what the other person is doing. And so a way that you can hack your brain and you can hack confidence is watch people winning, watch people celebrating, watch people who are confident, because if you do that, automatically your brain's gonna go into like, yes, confidence, that's what that looks like, let me emulate that. The other piece when it comes to body language and the physicality of confidence is your voice, your volume. So this was fascinating. I just came back from another training, and it was talking about how the tonality, the scales of our voice, and what it says in terms of the business world. If you are speaking in a descending scales, I can't do this very well because right now I'm doing this on purpose. You don't sound very much like a person that I want to work with, or that I really want to trust, or that I really want to do business with, or potentially even higher. But if we go up in rising scales and our voices, guys, I could be talking about this forever, but this is why I do coaching. So if you want to do more of this stuff, we can work one-on-one. Anyway, like you have your chest voice, you have your mid voice, and then you have your head voice. And so there's variations of where you can be coming from. And anyway, so you can, if you have ascending scales in how you're speaking, and then with women, you guys probably heard about this. There's the upspeak, ending every sentence with sort of like a question, and it makes us sound less confident. So you can have ascending scales as you're speaking that make us sound likable and somebody that, you know, people want to work with, and not make it sound like a question, because the question at the end of our sentences is going to make us look a little bit more weak, which, you know, like the opposite of confident. And that's not what we're trying to have here. So you can even think of your ascending scales, loud volume. I'm gonna do it different, just like a negotiations video, that it's 101, like negotiations 101. You know, I was gonna say something, I'm gonna skip it because this video is probably already gonna be long enough, but this is really good confidence training for you. And then if you guys ever had a negotiation, and if you want to do some negotiation prep, that's something that I do consulting on, so you can talk to me. Great. Number 5, I like this one. Number 5 is look hot and upgrade your environment. We know when we look good, we act like we look good. I know that for me, and this might be true for some of the other ladies, when I wear high heels, or when I wear my high heel boots that are like up to my knee, woo, I feel on top of the world. I feel amazing, and it shows, right? When I take time and I do, you know, I take care of myself. This goes back to point number 1, self-care. So a quick little note, like this have been on purpose because I need to change my nails, but when I see that my nails are chipping, for me, that's an alarm of like, you have not made enough time for self-care, because if you haven't had time to do your nails so they don't look terrible, then you're not taking care of yourself. And so when you make the time so you can look good and feel good, you're gonna walk around life just like strutting and exuding confidence. There's something that happens when you are purposeful about how you're presenting yourself. And I'm not saying like look like society wants you to look. Like there's a guy at the place where I work who he was wearing this shirt with little like sharks, like hot pink sharks, and it was a turquoise shirt, super cool. But I could tell that that's what makes him feel confident, right? Like when he walks around, he's like, yeah, I'm wearing my turquoise shirt with hot pink sharks, rawr, or something. So bring the intentionality, and if you are just running out of time and you can't give to yourself so you can look good, that affects your confidence, right? So again, back to the number 1 in confidence is self-care. So look hot, wear your favorite panties, your favorite boxers, whatever it is, wear what makes you feel good. So I know sometimes I'll wear something that people don't know I'm wearing, some like hot lingerie or something, and it's just like, it's exciting. I'm like, yeah, I look good for no one, like no one needs to see this, but I feel good, I look good. And so it's just about, again, the intentionality that we are bringing to who we are presenting ourselves to be. So look hot and upgrade your environment. So upgrading your environment means like look around your office, look around, you know, if you have a specific desk, your home. If you walk into a place that just doesn't look like it's been taken care of, back to number 1, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna be distracted. It's not gonna feel very good. I know this might not be, you know, a possibility for everyone, but like, you know, especially for moms out there and families, like, yeah, sometimes like you have 5 kids running around, like they're terrorizing the house, and it can be hard to keep the entire house clean. Get it, you know, take care of yourself, do whatever makes you feel good. But maybe there's like a space, maybe it's just like your bathroom that you just keep meticulous and clean and put together. Maybe it's not at home, but it's your office. It feels good. And you know, when you walk into your home, you know that you put time and attention into creating a space of beauty, a space of intentionality. It doesn't even have to be expensive, just it's the intention that you're bringing into, you know what, I'm a badass. I live in a place that looks like a badass would live there. I dress like a badass would dress, whatever that means to you. And all of these things come to get together to compound on your confidence. That was número 5. Number 6, I love this one. I do this one with my clients and it's so much fun. And I could do an entire video on this, but I won't. Number 6 is coming up with a power name. So all of my clients, apparently I was talking too long, it shut off and we're back. Okay, so all of my clients that work with me, I have them come up with a power name. And so I have them to think back to the times in their life when they've been most powerful and felt most alive and most joyful and most energetic and energized and passionate about what they were doing. And hot damn, if they walked into a room, whatever intention they had on their mind, whatever objective, it was gonna get done. We're gonna give that badass a name. We're not just gonna like let that go. That's like a magic that we're getting to work with. And we're gonna give that person a name. For me, my power name is Firestorm. So when I like just saying it, when I say Firestorm, I'm like, yeah, like you don't want to mess with Firestorm. Like she's something. She's a force of nature to be reckoned with. And I even have little triggers. It can be clothing or jewelry that remind me of like, that's right. And you can actually do this with other things. We're talking about confidence here, but you can have, you know, like get yourself a confidence ring, get yourself a confidence bracelet, get yourself confidence tattoo. You know, it doesn't have to say confidence, but it could just like, maybe it's just like a little stripe, but you know that to you, that means confidence. So we can have, and we're gonna be talking more about these little triggers that you can do for yourself. So you can hack, you know, into how it is that you are connecting to your power name. So again, mine is Firestorm, and it just, so for me, Firestorm speaks into I think I have a fiery personality where it's like bold and vibrant and energetic and, you know, bright, and it's warm. And so that just connects me with the best parts of myself. And sometimes it's just like firelight, and sometimes it's Firestorm. And especially when it comes to my companies and the work that I'm doing in the professional world, it's like, no, it's a storm, like, don't get in my way. Because I'm the wrong person for you to get in my way. Like, watch out, because I'm just like, wrong girl to dissuade or vote, like, this is going down. If I say I'm gonna do something, it's gonna get done, because Firestorm, she's crazy, and she's like passionate, and she's amazing and dedicated and disciplined and focused. And so, hell yeah. So, your power name, that's number 6. Number 7, all right, so this is, again, a little bit more strategic. Number 7 is priming confidence and scheduling in confidence. So every morning, you guys know I did a video on your morning routine, so there is this whole concept of priming. I'm not gonna talk about it because you can go to that video and watch it. And so you can prime, and I really recommend for you guys to be super intentional about how you're waking up every single morning and make priming confidence. So what does that mean? It means having practices that connect you to a feeling of confidence on a daily basis. So you're priming it into your brain. You're saying to your brain, hey self, I am deciding that this is who I am and who I want to be. And so ways that we can do this, and I wrote them down because there's quite a few, is 1, visualizations. So every morning you can think back and visualize to the most powerful, most on it version of you. And just really, rather than seeing that person from far away, be in the body, be in the breathing, be in the feeling of that person. And just doing that for a minute, that's gonna give you some swag. That's gonna give you a feeling of confidence where you're like, that's right, I get to be this person. along with that, choose confidence. We are, like a tree has to be a tree. A fish has to be a fish. They have their ways of being. A human being has this incredible potential to become and to be and to choose to bring intentionality into who they are being, to be whoever they choose to be. So can you choose to be confident? Absolutely. You can say, you know what? Today, for no other reason than I choose to be confident, I'm gonna be hella confident. I'm gonna be, that's California slang, Bay Area slang. I'm gonna be super confident. So choose to be confident, and you can help yourself through the visualizations. Videos on YouTube, there's a bunch of videos that you can watch that will, and not just any video, I'm thinking and talking about videos where you are watching people who are exuding confidence. There's a video that I'll link below where it was one of my favorite videos with a bunch of Olympic athletes winning. So you can look at tennis champions when they win. Like, what do people do when they win? There's very obvious body language of victory, of confidence. They're like celebrating, they're moving their feet, back to the physicality of confidence. Their hands are up, there's energy, there's like voice that's brought into this. And so again, your mirror neurons kick in when you watch these videos. So you could start every morning either with a motivational playlist. You guys can go to Spotify and look for Soul on Fire, and you'll find all of my playlists, which include a bunch of these songs. They're gonna get you pumped up, change your physicality, change your emotional state. So videos, yes, remembering a time when you were most confident. Okay, the next one, door frame triggers. This comes from Brennan Burchard. I'm gonna tie these two. So there's door frame triggers and alarms. Door frame triggers. What a door frame trigger is every time you walk through a door, a specific door that leads to a different part of, a section of your life. So every time you walk through the door to work, every time you walk through the door to get to your home, back to your kids, back to your spouse, you can bring, or like every time you get into your car, you can choose 3 words of who you are choosing to be, and one of those words can be confident, right? So maybe at work, who you need to be is confident. So every time either you get into your car or every time you walk through the door, getting into your building for work, you can remember, that's right, I'm confident, I am focused, I am joyful, right? Like, we need to bring joy every day to our work. And so these could be your 3 words, and every time you walk through that door frame, you're like, that's right. Maybe over here I wasn't, but right now I'm confident. I'm deciding to be confident and bring confidence into my day. That is número 7. Number 7. Number 8. Being excellent. You have to be disciplined, have integrity, and keep to your commitments. When we are excellent, when we do the work, even though no one's watching, when we do amazing work that we can feel proud of, then you feel excellent and you feel confident, because no one had to tell you to be excellent. No one had to. The best kind of excellence, guys, isn't the best kind of confidence isn't the confidence that comes from external what's the word? Affirmation, where people are like, oh, you're so this, you're so that, you're so great. The best kind of confidence is the confidence where you don't need anyone to accept you, to to be okay with your plan. I'm not saying be a dick. I am saying own who you are, love yourself. Yes, celebrate who you are, get to know who you are, and in the process of being all these things, be excellent. Because when you are excellent, when you know that you worked out every single day that week, that you ate well, that you took care of your body, that you were kind to the wait staff, to the janitor, that you carry yourself, and you are a person who walks through the world embodying excellence. Someone who is disciplined, someone who is focused, someone who, when they give a promise or say that they're gonna do something, they actually keep to it, then that fosters confidence. That creates the best, most tried and true, most like longest term kind of confidence, because at that point you like yourself and you know that no one has to say job well done, no one has to do anything. You're like, I decided to be a person of excellence for myself. And when you have that, you just walk around the world differently. You walk around, you're like, yeah, they're like, it doesn't matter if you agree or disagree, I feel fucking confident because I know that how I show up to my life is with the highest standards. And this is why I work with peak performers, right? I work with people who want to be excellent. And so choose excellence, be excellent. And by being excellent, you are going to be more confident. Number 9. Yes, number 9 is scheduling in competence and allowing yourself to be a learner. So we need to schedule in competence. I am not saying that to be confident, you don't need competence. Absolutely, you need to be competent. The more competent you become, the more confident you become. And to become competent, and you guys know that if you work with me, if you're part of my masterminds, if we work however we work together, I am expecting you to want to be the best in the world at whatever it is that you choose to be. And so to be incredible, to be excellent, to be on the top of your game, you need to be competent. And to be competent, we don't just like wake up one day and we're competent, although that might happen in the future, and that's gonna be so cool if I can just like download Chinese and I can all of a sudden speak Chinese. How cool would that be? But we can't do that right now. And so it comes with work. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of my library, which is like I'm super proud of. Like all these books, I've read all those books because I want to be excellent and competent in the areas that I have chosen for myself. I don't leave my competence to chance. I don't just like hope that I'll be really good at this thing. Hell no. I take online courses, I take trainings, all of my money goes into becoming a better version of myself, getting mentors, trainings, books. I have a problem with buying too many books, but that's because I'm building my competence. So I want you to ask yourself, like really, how intentional are you being with your competence building? And sometimes we're like, well, I'm good at my job. Well, be better. Get so good that they can't ignore. Like, I want you to be the best. I think, someone that I went to a workshop with, he said it's our duty. It's like, we get to be the best. When you were 9, when you were 8, you didn't go like, mommy, I want to be second place at blah, blah, blah. You're like, I want to get gold. I want to be the best. I want to go to the Olympics. You said it in exactly that voice. And so, but that's not going to happen, right? Like we have the 10,000 hour rule. We have like all these like strategies that tell us that to be competent, it takes time and it takes study. And for you to be the best in the world or to just be really, really good, you need to put in the time. And to put in the time, you need to schedule in the time, because I know how busy you guys are. I know how busy I am. So schedule it in. And part of that was understand that you are learning. Allow yourself the space to be a learner. Allow yourself to make some mistakes and be like, well, that didn't go the way I wanted it. Okay, cool. Well, let's not do that next time, right? Give yourself the space, because if you expect perfection, if you expect it all to work out just like all the right way, you're gonna stop and you're gonna not become more competent and therefore more confident. So you need to give yourself the space and the allowance to be a learner along the journey. And finally, number 10 is own yourself and stop comparing yourself to others. When we compare ourselves ourselves to others, we take away so much of our power and our joy. You need to own that you right now are amazing. You right now are a badass. Yes, you're working on your competence. You're definitely giving yourself space and time for self-care and self-love, and you're taking care of your vessel, your body, you're eating well, you're doing all these things. And you have done the work in steps number 2 and 3 to get to know who you are, what's important to you, what your journey is gonna look like, and then you own it. And you're like, this is who I am. This is what's important to me. I'm gonna keep my head down. I'm not competing with all of you. I am competing to be the best version of myself. Every day, my competition is, can I be better than I was yesterday? Can I be a better spouse? Can I be a better boss? Can I be a better leader? Can I be a better contributor to this world? That's your competition. And so when we own our journey, when we own who we are, and we stop looking around and saying, well, she got there faster, or she got this, or he got that, and he's better at this. We never know why these things are true, but you need to own your own journey. You need to own you're awesome, own that you're a badass, know that this is your journey. We get to celebrate other people on the journey. We get to be like, hell yeah, you're also confident. Hell yeah, you wrote your book. Hell yeah, you're doing this. Hell yeah, you're rocking it. And we don't compare. We celebrate, we learn, we get mentors and a peer group who's awesome, and we learn, but we do not put ourselves down. And so part of this could have been a whole different step, but part of this is I need you to be confident. I need you to be aware of your self-talk, because in between these two beautiful ears of yours, there's a whole lot of thoughts, and often, and this is not like your fault. It's just because of how our brains developed and what our brain said we needed to pay attention to. A lot of our thoughts can be focused on negativity. And so I need you to, in your own thoughts, in your own little voice that's inside your head, to be kind to yourself. And when you hear a little bit of that comparison of like, oh, well, of course she can do it, but I can't do it, or blah, 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 blah. I need the loudest voice in there needs to be the one that's like, no, she's doing a great job. That's so cool. We're going to celebrate her. And I'm awesome too. Like, we're awesome. We're doing an amazing job. I don't know if you have to use like we. That's kind of weird, but just I'm awesome. I'm amazing. And guys, as silly as it sounds or it might feel, yes, I'm asking you to be like, I'm awesome. I'm amazing. I want you to look at the mirror and blow yourself a kiss. And there's nothing wrong with celebrating yourselves. There's nothing wrong with liking who we are. Each of you is amazing and incredible, and I see that in you. And my hope is that you see that in you. So we covered 10 things that you can do to be more confident. This is quite a lengthy training here. And my hope with all of these videos is that you have the tools to be a peak performer, that you have the tools to live a life where you feel like your soul is on fire. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Make sure that you are following my page. Make sure that you are on Instagram, that you're like everywhere I do lives, that you're on my website, on my newsletter, and I will catch you again next week. Bye!